Good afternoon, and welcome to the Collector's Corner. It is my great honor to have with me today on the Collector's Corner one of the most renowned figures from the world of opera, a singer who now makes her home in Dallas. I have had the pleasure of hearing her in opera and concert many times, and know that her reputation was not exaggerated. Since coming to Dallas, I have had the equal pleasure of visiting with her, and to my delight have discovered that she is as charming as she is famous. I know you will enjoy joining me today as I visit with Miss Lily PONS. Welcome to the Collector's Corner, Miss PONS.
Thank you very much. It is a great pleasure to be with you and just chat about many, many things in music.
Well, I hope we're going to chat a great deal about Lily PONS today.
Oh, no, it's not necessary.
How do you like now being a Texan?
Everybody said, Lily has a French-Texan accent now.
Do you know, when we first met, you surprised me a great deal by
Pourquoi?
telling me that your first desire was for a career in medicine.
Yes, I was interested in surgery and in medicine all my life. Yes, and I'm a very good doctor for my friends.
Well, how did medicine give way to music?
Well, I think it's completely a different matter, but as a matter of fact, I know many, many doctors who are completely out of their career. Their second, what you call, job,
Avocation?
avocation is music. Perhaps there's an affinity with that.
There might be a parallel. I believe, though, that your first music training was not directed towards voice, but was directed towards piano, right?
Piano, yes, I was at the conservatory in Paris, and all my life I was thinking I will be a great ballerina.
Ballerina?
Because this is my great admiration for ballerinas.
Well, I'm sure Miss PONS is too modest to tell you that she was accepted at the famous Paris Conservatoire when she was only 13, and by the time she was 15, she had won the first prize in piano.
Yes, and you know, but I was so nervous. You know, I can't touch the pedal because I was trembling all the time.
Well, tell me, was the fact that you were so nervous playing the piano was what made you decide to train and explore your voice?
No, because I think I'm born with my voice, the colorature, soprano voice. Because I remember when I was 5, 6 years old, if I was going to the movie or see something nice, I was singing all the time. The voice was there. And when I was married first, and I was a little bit annoyed with the social life, and I said, well, if I have a little voice, I want to have a teacher. And I try, naturally, to work with a teacher in Cannes, where I was. And the voice in 6 months has developed so tremendously that I was thinking, well, perhaps I could have a career. And in that moment, I was going to Paris, and a friend of mine introduced me to one of the great, great teachers, Alberti de Gorostiaga, who he heard me. And he said, in 5 years, you will be at the Metropolitan. And I said, oh, la, what he want? He wants some, you know, I was not believing of that. And I start working with him, and in 6 months, the voice was completely different. It was just fantastic. And I was just needing his advice and placement of high note. They came naturally.
It was as if you were just born to sing.
I'm sure.
Your debut, your operatic debut, I know, came as Lakme.
Yes, in Mulhouse.
Mulhouse.
In
Alsace-Lorraine.
Alsace-Lorraine. And there the theater was very, very difficult, you know. I mean, it was only very good singer. The orchestra was first class, and I remember it was Mr. Flon. And when they hear me, they announce me as of the San Carlo de Naples, and I said, how you can lie that way? I let you responsible for that, because after all, it's my debut. And the debut, the critics were so fantastic. They were all thinking I was at San Carlo de Naples.
I think one thing very unusual, Miss Pons, is that the year of your operatic debut was the year that your first recordings were made for Odeon, France.
Yes, and you know, in that time, I have never taken a lesson.
When you made the records?
Yes, and that Dimatzey, who was the great tenor in that time, heard my voice. He said, have you have a teacher? I said, no, I just sing for myself. He said, you learn that score and you sing Bohème in Avignon with me.
Bohème, you were the Mimi.
Yes.
This was only but one of the roles that you did in France that you never, America never heard you in.
No, after that I was more in the Italian repertoire, you see, when I came here in this country.
I think France also heard you as the Queen of the Night in Gretel, in Hansel and Gretel.
Yes,
in
yes. And the Queen of the Night was conducted by Reynaldo Hahn, who was a director of the casino in Cannes, where I'm born. And every winter we have the opera season, and he was the principal chef d'orchestre, conductor.
A very famous Mozart expert, too.
Very.
I think this first record we're going to play today of Miss Pons doing the second act Rigoletto duet Il Sol dell'Anima with tenor Enrico Di Marzei played a particular part in your career in that it inadvertently led to your Metropolitan debut.
Yes, when they hear the recording, Mr. Gatti Casazza was very interested, and it was no colorature soprano in that moment. And he was thinking he will remake again with colorature soprano repertoire. And he said, well, she must come here and make the audition. And I decided to come alone. And I got in that boat, and it was the first time I go in a big boat. And I was sick 8 days. I couldn't eat. I lose so many pounds. When I arrive, I can walk. And I said, well, I'm so sick, I will never go back to France because I don't want to go through such agony. And when I arrived, the people who received me, the guy, just make me eat, you know, cream and potato to gain some poundage. I was 98 pounds in that moment.
My God.
Yes, but I make the debut after 10 days. Not the debut, the what you call, the audition.
Yes.
And we were about, 25 or 26, one after the other. And I get panicking, you know, to see that big, huge vessel, you know, I mean, it's like a huge, it's tremendous. And I sing L'Acme, the Madson of Lucia, I sing Rigoletto, and Mr. Gatti Casazza was at the first row, and another gentleman was sat down to him, and they were speaking. He said, Miss Pons, can you repeat the same thing in half an hour because we want to call the president, Mr. Otto Kahn? And I said, yes. And the other was auditioning, you see, and half an hour after, I was on the stage, Mr. Otto Kahn was there, and I sing better, you know. I mean, it was, they want to know if I have the endurance, because I was so fragile and frail looking. And I sing all the thing again, and it went beautifully, and I hear Mr. Otto Kahn say to Mr. Gatti Casazza, if you don't engage, give a contract to that little French girl, I resign as a president. And you know, I couldn't believe. I was thinking I was in a dream. And this was my great, you know, experience at the Metropolitan for my debut.
Well, I think it's time now we played this first recording today, an Odeon recording, which Miss Pons made in 1928 with tenor Enrico Di Marzei, the disc which by chance led to her audition at the Metropolitan Opera.